It is Turtle Tuesday once again. I am happy you are all here. We are going to talk Ninja Turtles tonight. We are talking Turtles, talking some figures, vinyl figures. We're talking Mutants Unleashed TMNT video game coming out maybe later this year, and a little bit of Krang cosplay. Really well done cosplay. I'm excited you're all here. We have a lot to talk about. We're going to spill the tea later as well, so hold on to your shells. Go Ninja! Go Ninja! Go! Go! Welcome to my Ninja Turtles channel. It's 9 p.m. in New York City, and this is the Ninja Turtles show. How the shell are ya? Let's type some T's in the chat. Type a T for Turtles if you like the Ninja Turtles. Got a lot to get to tonight. Let's get some pizza slices out there too. Pizza heaven. Hope you all are doing well. It's Turtle Tuesday once again, and I'm happy you all have joined me here. We're typing T's. We got pizza flying around. It's a party like it is every Turtle Tuesday. Thank you for joining me. We're going to talk about a Mondo figure from the company Mondo. We're talking about a figure from Culturefly, a big vinyl figure, a video game, Mutants Unleashed, coming out later this year, and Krang cosplay. A lot to get to. Thank you all for joining me and typing those pizza slices out there. Ah, it looks good. You guys ever just dream of pizza slices floating around? We're going crazy today. It's Turtle Tuesday. I'm happy you all have joined me. Make sure to like the video if you haven't already. Like and subscribe here on YouTube. Subscribe over on Rumble as well. And follow along on Twitter, now known as X, at my TMNT channel. I posted 5 of my most controversial videos last week and gained a few new followers. It was fun to repost some classic videos, and it all led up to a new video that came out last week about the Survivalist comic book. So it was a fun week, posting old videos, reliving my old videos. It's fun to dig those up and repost them. Thank you all for joining me. JR24, Bonjour, Spider Turtles YouTube, Nordic Frost, hello, Jorge, Tato Ruzu, Joe Curious, Gen X Catholic, what is going on? Misa Ori, Thomas Circle. Thank you all for joining me. I do appreciate it. It's been another week. It's another Turtle Tuesday. Can you believe it's been another week? Jay Hadley, what's going on? Mr. Turtle, I do appreciate it. Was that a fun, energetic intro? Well, released this video last week. It's a fun video. Some people read too much into old comic books, and I thought it was just time to point out maybe that the villains in this comic book are just kind of two-dimensional comic book villains. You don't want to read too much into it, but it was a good video, and this is kind of the style of videos I like doing. I like getting a little bit deeper than just a superficial review, kind of talking about current stuff as well as past stuff, and maybe how it fits into a larger context. So thank you all for joining me and watching that video last week. It was a fun video, and I'm going to be doing more videos like that. I think that's the style of videos I'm going to be going for. Not controversial, but just a little bit more of an edge, maybe something a little more exciting. I don't know. I'm trying to do something new, and I think you guys will enjoy that. Thank you, JR24. I appreciate your nice comment about my new look. Very nice. Mr. Turtle, black and white, streamlined look. Yeah, I just wanted to try something new, a little bit more, maybe focused. Hey, Mirage TMNT OG, how's it going? So first thing I wanted to get to quickly is video game news. Of course, Mutant Mayhem came out earlier this year. Mutant Mayhem was the Seth Rogen movie, and there's going to be a video game supporting that world. There's going to be a video game and a TV show coming out later this year, and we've got our first look at the cover of the video game. I'm not too excited for this video game, but I probably will consider checking it out. We'll see how it is. It has some promise. Maybe it'll be fun, little quick video game, but it looks like they have some new characters on the cover. Mutants Unleashed, allegedly coming out October 18th later this year. And they've released some screenshots before, but this is the first look at the official artwork on the cover, and there's 4 mutants at the top, or 4 characters. Some of them look new, some of them are maybe not new. We'll see. But on the far left, it's a little bit tough to see, but there's a... let me zoom in a little. The character on the far left, There, you can kind of see him there. He's a crab, and he appears to be a crab with a trash can on his back. And I saw some people speculating that this is Herman the Hermit Crab from the IDW series. Herman the Hermit Crab. He's got the trash can. He's got the dumpster on his back, and he's a crab. So that's possibly who that could be. Next up, the big guy in the center there with the wild tongue and the big wild eyes, the colorful figure. I saw a lot of people speculating that this could be Worm, a classic Ninja Turtles character. You can see the purple sprouts on the head, the big wide wild mouth, and the zany eyes and colors. Pretty similar to that character there. And then in the by the stoplight there in the upper right by the Nickelodeon logo, looks like this could be Snakeweed wearing roller skates. I'm not sure if you guys remember Snakeweed from the 2012 show. Snakeweed was like a mutated plant. And it looks like that could be snakeweed or some sort of praying mantis. I'm not sure if it's snakeweed or a praying mantis, but this is what snakeweed looks like, of course. A little similar. Thomas Circle says that guy looks more like a mantis shrimp. Could be a mantis shrimp. I'm not sure. Maybe it's not Herman Herbert Crab. I don't know. Mr. Turtle, I never thought they would adapt snakeweed if that is the case. So yeah, from the 2012 show. And finally, this character on the far right there, I don't know who this character is. Maybe some sort of dolphin or trout or something. He appears to have a spear with a fish on it and maybe a dolphin or something. I don't know. Kind of looks like he has sharp teeth. So this is going to be a goofy little video game. Probably like a, kind of lowbrow. Not lowbrow, but don't expect a AAA knockout #1 game of the year. You played it for 80 hours and it changed your life kind of thing. I'm not really expecting that. I'm expecting a serviceable game, something quick and, fun, gets the point across, promotes the TV show, promotes the next movie that's going to come out in a couple years. So that's the first thing. Next thing I wanted to talk about is on this screen. Got my new screens working. Hopefully my eyes are blinking. I was working on the eye blink feature earlier, and hopefully it's coming through. Next, I want to talk about some toys. Vinyl toys from Mondo. Are you familiar with the brand Mondo? So Mondo produces these big vinyl figures. They're nice. They're sturdy, solid figures. They released like a comic book line a while back, and now they have these newer figures with the like classic TMNT design, the classic Playmates design, maybe like the more vintage Turtles look. $90 pre-order. Supposed to come out later this fall. So $90, little steep for a figure. It's 8 inches tall. And they look good. I gotta say, they have a unique, bulky sculpt. I like this bulky vinyl figure. They have some articulation. It's not just a statue. They're tough, but kind of colorful at the same time. It's like a tough version of the original 1987 show or something like that. It's like a tough they're kind of bulky and squatty and strong looking, muscular. So Mondo makes good toys, and you can see soft vinyl, 8 inches tall, Leonardo and Donatello, available for pre-order. I don't really pre-order anything anymore. So it's one of those purchases. It's one of those items. If they're around, maybe I'll get one. This is it's a moderately expensive figure, very cool figure. These are going to be worth it, I would say. $90, these are going to be worth it. These are like a nice centerpiece kind of figure, and I assume they're going to make Raphael and Michelangelo soon enough. And Donatello looks good too. They've got the classic facial expressions from the original toys. Donatello's grimacing on both sides, and Leonardo's grimacing on one side. And toys look good. Very cartoony look, but kind of an aggro cartoony look. And they're available now for pre-order from the Mondo website. So just search Mondo Soft Vinyl TMNT, and these are for you. Oh, Mirage TMNT OG says the shipping is $26. Yeah, I didn't check what the shipping is. That is steep. I don't know if it's 13 per turtle or 26 flat rate or something, but yeah, it's ends up being a little pricey, over $100 for the figure, but they're heavy. I think they weigh 4 pounds. And I don't think they cheap out on these. They're not hollow or anything. They feel, sometimes you feel a toy, it feels heavy, it feels expensive, you feel like you got your money's worth. Sometimes you get a hollow toy, it feels cheap and brittle, you feel like you got ripped off or something. But these are nice. They're big and bulky. Cool with me. $90. Leo and Donatello available now. Soft vinyl, fully articulated. So who knows how much. These are like a big action figure. And another vinyl figure that was announced for pre-order, available for pre-order from Culturefly. These are soft vinyl figures also. They're 11 inches tall with the banner. So I think the turtle itself is about 8 inches tall as well, but it has the tall helmet and the tall banner behind it. So that kind of adds to the height. But I think the figure itself is probably around 8 inches as well. Gen X Catholic, you want some heft. You do want some heft. You want it to feel expensive and feel solid and real. You don't want just a cheap piece of hollow plastic. So this is the Samurai set, available for $500 for the set. It's a pricey set. It's pricier than the Mondo turtles we just looked at. But is it worth more? The figure sculpt is more ornate. It's a little more ornate. The figure is taller, but the figure is pretty much the same size, but there's kind of more going on. The banner is 11 inches tall. The figure is shorter than that. And I think it has some other, maybe, I don't know if they have extra features or anything, but all 4 of the turtles look pretty cool. They have different color schemes, and they're all wearing each other's colors. I love samurai turtles. It's such a cool look. Tatoruzu says, WTF cultural appropriation. Yep, they're snagging that samurai look right up. You know, they've got that original samurai kind of thing going on. They created that. They're taking that credit for that as well. But the samurai costume is a solid go-to look, and this is a very colorful look. This is like it's not your typical samurai. It's a very colorful samurai, and each one of the figures is different. They have a lot of similarities. I think they're reusing a lot of parts, but I don't know how these Culturefly. I'm not too familiar with that brand, and I'm not too sure about the quality of these. I don't know if they're going to have like hollow feet or anything. Like when you lift the figure up and you look at the bottom of the feet, you can see that they're hollow or whatever. So I don't know if they have that. Some figures have that, but I like when you can look at the figure from any degree. You can look at the feet, you can pick them up and look at them around, and they look real from any angle. I don't want the illusion to be broken and seeing that it's just, I know it's a piece of plastic, but I don't want it to be obviously visible. Just fill in the feet, give me a solid figure. And especially if I'm paying $500 for a set of 4 figures, they're also available for $140 for an individual figure. So if you don't want to go in on all 4, you can just get any one of the turtles for $140 directly from Culturefly. Pineapple says, would be cool if one of them had the scepter. That would be cool if they had the time scepter from the time traveling movie, Ninja Turtles 3. Thank you for the kind words, Mirage TMNT OG. Very much appreciated. So these figures look good. A little pricey. $140 for an individual figure, $500 for a set. Not for me. So 11 inches tall with the samurai banner in the background. I'm not sure if the helmet is removable. I'm not sure how the weapons and stuff, how removable all this stuff is and interchangeable. But for $140, these figures better be my samurai guard. They better be my elite guard and come to life and guard me. And for $140 for a figure, they're okay. Mr. Turtle says, I don't know, for $500 they could add more detail. Yeah, I kind of agree. Sometimes you buy a figure, it's really expensive. You look at it a little too close. You see it's painted. You see it's just plastic. You get a little disappointed. Sometimes when you go in on a big expensive figure, there's a sense of it needs to be worthwhile and it needs to look really good, a very high level of quality. And I'm not too familiar with Culturefly. They might do great stuff. I think they did the vinyl popsicle figures as well, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong, but maybe Culturefly did those popsicle figures. So these look good overall. Better than a Funko Pop, I gotta say. But 10 times better than a Funko Pop? I don't know. I'm probably not buying any of these. I don't buy most figures, really. I just look at all this stuff. I'm a big window shopper for this Ninja Turtle stuff nowadays. Big window shop. I'm not trying to spend $500 on... They're going to have a bunch of dust on them. They look great, though. I gotta say, they're like a kind of a beautiful centerpiece if you have a collection or whatever. We all wanted a flashback to, you were expecting maybe the Addams Family? Yeah, we're going back to the third Ninja Turtle. We're going back to the early 90s for these figures. We're going full samurai, Lego Rama, Schwing. We're going for it. We're going to put the lampshade on our head and dance around in the subway lair. But $140 available now from Culturefly or Big Bad Toy Store. Excuse me, but pretty cool looking. And they're all a little too similar. I think some of them are just repainted, a lot of repainted parts. They have the same facial expression, just different colors. And there's a little bit too much color in these, honestly. I'm not trying to be a samurai wearing bright neon highlighter yellow, running around in a war as a samurai with bright neon blue. I don't know. I like more of a subdued kind of warrior look, but looks good. Not for me necessarily, but maybe some of you will like this. Just wanted to pass along. We're going back to our other set here, our other scene. And I wanted to tell you about some cosplay. When did it become cosplay? I think I prefer when it's just called dressing up in a costume. I don't understand that. You feel a little creepy when you say cosplay. It has like some kind of weird connotation if you ask me. But I saw this Krang costume and it looks awesome. Oh, let me get that out of the way. I saw this Krang costume. It looks awesome. It looks like Krang, honestly. And I wanted to pass this along. I wanted to share this. And it's from Carver. With 2 R's. Carver FX. Carver Studio. Creature effects and design. Looks really good. Mikey and Shelley. It says here, artwork by Mikey, brought to life by Shelley. And they show a whole like cool behind the scenes process of how they created it out of foam. They fabricate it out of foam. They paint it. They customize it. It's a whole suit as well. You can see Krang's head there and the torso, the padding along the shoulders and chest area. Really looks great seeing it come together. First you see it just in its unpainted form, and then you see all the different components come together in the front and back, and then you see it get painted, and you see the whole picture coming together. And I think this is Shelley. Apparently Shelley is Krang. And it looks good. The costume has a lot of detail to it as well. From head to toe, it's got all the little details coming together. It's got the little cavity. It looks like a cavity for Krang there in the belly, of course. Shelley looks friendly, though. She doesn't look like an evil Krang. And up close, the details look good. It looks sturdy. I mean, it's made out of foam or sponge or silicone or whatever, but it looks solid. I mean, maybe the way it's painted, it looks solid. And when it comes all together, it really just looks amazing. It doesn't look like over painted or anything, and it looks functional, like she could move her arms and legs around and stuff. It really looks good. It looks great. So I'm not the biggest cosplay costume person, you know, but it looks really good. This is like a real craft. This is a real skill. This kind of design and creation. These people would be great for creating like movie props or like movie horror effects or something. Create characters in a movie. They could cast this Krang in like a fan film as Krang in a fan film or something. I don't know. Looks great. Screen ready. Costumes are like cosplay, but usually pre-made or not as high effort. Cosplay is a high effort. It requires some knowledge on how to make high quality costumes to properly represent it. It's about really not just dressing up as it's being the character. Okay. And it inspiration from the unlicensed Krang android body figure. I think that's where they got inspiration from. And very high effort, very well done, and big bulky figures as well. It's not just like a cheap, they're not just throwing like a t-shirt on or something. They're not just throwing on a layer of paint on a shirt. They're big bulky figures. They've created a whole suit, and you can see this Batman Dark Knight figure. It's the same kind of style where it's like this big, exaggerate, like a mascot almost. Like like a mascot. They're wearing a whole suit and a whole costume. And they have other characters as well. So in addition to Krang and this Batman, they look so good. Whole bunch of other figures, costumes, cosplay, whole bunch of designs and creations, creature effects, bunch of practical. I love practical effects, by the way. I love practical effects, and cosplay like this is a form of practical effects. These costumes look great, so gotta give it up for this Krang costume. And fortunately, the little thing on the top of the head hasn't broken off yet, so that'll probably happen. She'll walk through a doorway, and that thing will snap off, and they'll lose it forever. Gen X Catholic says, Husky Batman. Yeah, I like the husky look. It's a good, bulky, sturdy look for these costumes. It's not just like wearing a pair of like tan sweatpants and calling it a day. So, really nice stuff. Really good stuff from Carver. Hats off to Carver. T for Turtles. T for thank you to the Carver team, Mikey and Shelley, for creating these wonderful costumes. T for Turtles if you like the Ninja Turtles. They did a great job with these things. I'm going to type a T in the chat. How about that? So just wanted to give them a lot of credit. This is good stuff. And, you know, they make cosplay look good. A lot of the time you think of cosplay, you think of some girl just, you know, so these girls with the low-cut shirts and stuff. Oh, I'm dressed up as someone. Yeah, I'm dressed up. Yeah. Okay, sure you are. I think of that when I think of cosplay. It's like some kind of weird sexual weird thing. But fortunately, this was not that way. This was a standard, wholesome dress up as Krang, a wonderful I'd be terrified if I saw that Krang costume, and I think that's really Krang. I think that's really Krang. I'm easily fooled, apparently. Newsflash. Newsflash, I'm easily fooled. Newsflash, that Krang looked real to me. Newsflash, that Krang looked real to me, and I am scared here in the newsroom. I don't know what's coming out. I think it's like a real Krang. It's gonna make my hair fall out. Scared of that Krang. It's gonna make my hair fly off my head. Newsflash, I'm going crazy. Back to your regularly scheduled back to tea time. Well, that's tea time. That's the show. How about that? Is that all right, you guys? Now we can vent for a little bit. Now we can just hang out. Now we can just hang out, look out the window for a second, decompress. So that was the show. I got my tea out. And we can chat. How has it been? It's been another week. How is it going out there, everybody? That was the show. We talked about a couple figures, video game, and some cosplay. Sometimes there's nothing to go over. Sometimes there's no news, like there's no updates and stuff. And frankly, sometimes I get the weekly show. I feel like I'm just bringing you products every week. Like it's like just products. The only news is like new products, stuff that's like been announced or teased. Or like updates, like stuff that's leaked or like stuff that's in the works. Like this video game is coming out and they released the new comics are coming out and they released this to tease it. They released a new character. And it just, I'd like to do something maybe different than just, it feels just so, I feel like I'm just peddling new products, like some sort of salesman. And I don't like I'd like to do something still topical, maybe just something different. I don't know. Maybe not so product focused. But sometimes that's like the news stories. That's all that comes out every week. It's just like new products. We could talk about like, you know, cultural. I think I'd prefer to talk about more like cultural stuff that's going on. Like stuff in the, what are Ninja Turtles fans up to? Like what are other creators up to and stuff like that? Like what's the general vibe going on? Oh, I forgot to mention earlier, my survivalist video that I did. Someone released a like rebuttal. My Ninja Turtles channel debunked Tyron. You guys know Tyron watches the show sometimes. He's very critical of me, and he released a rebuttal. My Ninja Turtles channel debunked. Apparently, he disagreed with what I said in my survivalist video last week. He's very critical. Is my first critical video response. I've been featured positively in videos before. I've been featured by Tato Ruzu, Teddy Gaming Review, Speedo, Kagan, a few other people. You know, positive stuff, little clips and stuff. But this is the first like critical response. It was like a rebuttal, and that was cool. Thomas says, I saw a clip of that rebuttal. The voice sounded AI synthesized. Yeah, it was an AI voice, and I didn't really understand the video, to be honest. I would like to, you know, I have no clue what his point is, but you know, I can't argue. How can I argue with him when I don't know what his point is? But no, you know, nonetheless, he had like a stream of consciousness kind of thing. I don't know. Maybe when you use the AI voice, like punctuation becomes a kind of thing. Who knows? But yeah, that's what Tato Ruzu says. I think Tyron disagrees in good faith, at the very least. That's how I feel. He had some points and connections and stuff. And, you know, I watched the video and he had a bunch of screenshots. He has a style, it's like a stream of consciousness, like where it's like a bunch of like screenshots posted together. I couldn't follow it, honestly. Is that how my videos come across to you guys? But nonetheless, it was cool. So yeah, he can be critical of me. Make all the videos about me you want. It was cool. Felt like I was official. But Tato Ruzu in the chat. Of course, I saw some people talking about it earlier. Tato Ruzu's been on a tear. These Sophie Campbell videos. really well done Sophie Campbell videos. And these are videos like it's great that they've been made. I'm very happy these videos have been made. You know, with this kind of stuff, Tataruzu's made a couple videos about Sophie Campbell and in general, like drawing inappropriate pictures, adult inappropriate pictures with the Turtle Brothers with each other. If you can catch my drift, I don't want to get too graphic, but there's a weird subculture of people that draw the Ninja Turtles together. If you get my drift, the Turtle Brothers are together with each other, and it's this weird subculture, and frankly, it's gross. And this is something I've been like ignoring. I've been putting my head in the sand. I didn't even want to talk about it because it's so foul, and it's just like a totally gross thing. And I've been putting my head in the sand about this. I didn't even want to talk about it. I feel weird even talking about it. I don't even want to use the words to describe it. But you know, it's like X-rated incest with the Ninja Turtles. And you know, Sophie Campbell has been part of this in some way or another, to my understanding from the video. And I don't know how graphic the pictures were that Sophie Campbell drew, that were drawn, you know, it's 10 years ago or something. And I don't know how serious they are with this stuff. If it's kind of just like a goofy, you know, I don't know if it was like a joke kind of thing, or if it's like a serious thing, like, let's draw these turtles getting it on. You know, let's go, you know, get sexual and go for it. Tataruzu says, that's why nobody knows what Sophie was up to, because everyone decent ignores it. Yeah, and I also, I didn't want to go searching for it. I felt weird searching for it. I didn't know if it was out there or not. And I frankly didn't want to go out there and find it. In a weird kind of gross way, I assumed it was out there. With Sophie Campbell, I assume all the characters are involved in some sort of deviant behavior and some sort of weird sexual escapades, unless they're expressly written, this is a, you know, straight character. I assume that, you know, with Sophie Campbell, I assume it's all going for it. But it's one of those things, like, who am I to judge? I want to see the best in people. I'd like to see some research, you know, and I know in Japan, there's that like Ninja Turtles, it's like doujinshi or whatever, doujinshi. I know they had a video on Cartoonist Kayfabe about it a while back. It's like the Japanese art of drawing the brothers with each other in a adult situation. And there's like some sort of, you know, they draw these. I watched the Cartoonist Kayfabe video, and they have this like beautiful anime art, but then it's like the two Ninja Turtle brothers, you know, with each other, and it's not something I'd like to look at. And I know the Archie crew did a comic like this. Was it the original Archie crew or the original Mirage crew? Did a parody comic in the early 90s or something that they just circulated amongst themselves in the office. That's one of those like Ninja Turtle iceberg things that you don't really hear. There's, you know, only a few copies of it, but it was like officially drawn by the actual crew, and it's like an official gross porn parody. And you know, there's a weird thin line in between that stuff, like when being like a goof, like joking around, like having a goof, and then it being like serious. And there's like some weird gross thin line there, and it's just like stuff I don't really even want to think about or search for. There, you know, there's even a special name for it. It's like there's a special name for it that I don't even really want to use or acknowledge. You see this stuff on social media a lot, and it's really just vile, to be honest. And even if it's done, I don't even understand how it could be a joke or done ironically or anything. I don't want to see two turtle brothers with each other and they're teenagers. The whole thing is just very bizarre. And I noticed there's a certain group of people that are always drawn to this kind of stuff. You don't see a regular guy with a 9-to-5 job you don't think about him doing that. It's always kind of these people on the fringe with these unique lifestyles, and they're up to these unique, deviant, gross things. And it's really just not something I want to be a part of. You know, everyone always says, love is love, right? Oh, what they do in their bedroom. Oh. It doesn't really work like that. This stuff never really stays in the bed. Would you want to live in a neighborhood of like all cannibals or something? They keep it in they do it in their own kitchen, but they're all cannibals. I don't want to live in their neighborhood. Other people's actions affect you. Other people's actions, like we live in a society where our decisions affect each other. And, you know, it's like this stuff starts off with just like tolerance. Like, don't hurt us, you know, you don't have to like what we do. You don't have to agree with what we do. And they just want tolerance and just don't hurt us and you don't have to like it. And then it moves from tolerance to acceptance, where they try and like normalize stuff and they just want to be normal and it's acceptable and it's like, you have to like it. And then it's like moving to like a full on like control stage where it's like you have to agree with them and like become a cheerleader. And this stuff, I don't know, they put it under the like it's just queer. We're just being queer drawing these things. And if that's queer, I'm against that. You know, if that's what that is, I am against queerness. If that's what they're going to call it as, and I'm against it. What can I say? So I'm blackpilled about this stuff because unfortunately it is legal. You can draw whatever disgusting, dirty pictures you want legally. It is highly immoral. And that's the thing here. It's legal and it's gross. You can draw anything. And Mr. Turtle says you should keep your fetish to yourself. Yeah, I completely agree. Mirage TMNT, keep the sexual stuff out of TMNT, period. Yeah, I agree. It's not something I'm looking for. Pineapple says we want wholesome brotherhood and family values in our Turtles media. That's about it. Thomas Circle says, yeah, I think it's bad that it's legal to draw anything. I do think it's weird when people draw underage people engaged in adult acts. I think that's very strange for adults to draw underage people in sexual acts. I think that's very bad that it's legal. I mean, I'm not like a crazy censorship guy, but like it's gross. I mean, I don't know. Should it be illegal? How are you going to police people's drawings? Dissemination of this stuff, sharing these pictures online. And it's just gross that people are going out of their way to search for pictures of underage characters doing adult things. That's gross. I'm making a moral judgment here. What can I say? What can I say? Tatoruzu says, I can hop on and discuss if you want. Should we, Tatoruzu, hop on? Should I try and set this up while we're on the computer here? Maybe we should just talk. Tatoruzu, would you like to talk maybe this Saturday or something? Maybe we could do a Saturday show, or maybe next Tuesday we could do a full show focused on this or something. I'd like to do that. That'd be very good. So I kind of put my head in the sand. Well, long story short, Tataruza's been making some great videos about a weird, creepy subculture, sub-portion of the Ninja Turtles, a weird, creepy subculture within the Ninja Turtles that I despise. What can I say? I've always despised these people, and I've always wanted to attack them, but I've never even wanted to use their terms and be associated with their terms, and all that. So I want to attack them, but I don't want to attack them out of hate or anything like that. I want to come from a place of I want to correct them. I want to, from a place of kindness or morality or something. I don't know. So what do you think out there, Thomas Circle? Do you think it's good that it's legal that people draw anything? I'm not saying, I sometimes things are legal and it is bad that people do them. Like, people are allowed, it's legal for people to drink alcohol, yet they crash their cars and hurt people every weekend. But it's, it's legal. It's not illegal to drink and drive, but alcohol is legal. And there's a lot of gray area with what's legal and what isn't. And, just because something isn't or is legal, if it's moral or something you should do or should engage in, it's one of those things. I don't know. It's one of those creepy things, like where it might be legal, but it's immoral. There's a lot of gray area out there. Just because stuff is legal doesn't mean you should be doing it. But take care, Mirage TMNT OG. Thank you for joining. So Thomas Circle says, yes, if drawing minors in such situations is deemed as immoral as filming them, you might as well say fictionally depicting a murder is akin to actually murdering someone. Well, if you could make that comparison, yeah, then no, you aren't allowed to, any fiction or any fantasy is real. Everything has to be, you can only read about real things. Tataruzu says, my problem really boils down to Campbell's hypocrisy and selective outrage. as the fact she was a writer for the comic. And the fact. Yeah, Sophie Campbell was an official writer for the comic, and this is kind of weird behavior to engage in. I'd say it's unprofessional. Even if it, for Thomas's point, even if it is legal and not immoral, it's unprofessional. Would you even concede that, Thomas, that it's unprofessional to draw? Would you in any way say it's not good? You seem to be defending this. I'm willing. I'm just curious if you're willing to acknowledge in any way that it's strange, that it's abnormal to draw minors engaging in adult acts. But Mr. Turtle says this should be brought to light so that more TMNT fans not in the know can know what Sophie did and how her past was kind of influencing her new work. You know, yeah, and Thomas says, well, to be fair, she was not employed by IDW when she drew that. It was 10 years ago or 12, 13 years ago or whatever. It was 10 years before she was employed. Oh, maybe, you know, I guess she drew some stuff in like 2014. So really just a couple years, just a few years before they first hired her to do some covers around issue 30. The Northampton arc, I think she did some covers. She drew some issues as well around like 29 and 30 or something. So, yeah, it was really just a couple years before they hired. But apparently at IDW, this is acceptable kind of stuff. They're fine with it. Nickelodeon is fine with it. Maybe they didn't know. Maybe maybe they said if you delete this stuff and maybe not bring it to light. But, well, what can you say? Who am I to judge? But guess what? I'm judging. I don't know. It's just a little gross. So maybe Tato Ruzo and I will speak about that coming up soon, a few days from now, maybe this Saturday or this Tuesday. And Tato Ruzu says she published the art in the X-rated book after she had already done work for IDW. So I guess it was after she had already done work. I don't have the timeline straight. Tato Ruzu has the timeline. I don't have the timeline. Well, who knows? Oh yeah, the IDW Leo one-shot. Yeah, that was a good one. It's a good story. Book was published in 2014, so yeah, that is well after the start of the IDW run, and she had done work before 2014. Yeah, you know, it's who knows? Is it a joke? Is it serious? Is it parody? Can you know someone's intent? Can you know? It's just a little bit of a weird, creepy thing. So I would prefer not to be around that stuff and around people that do that kind of stuff. And, you know, it's just one of those kind of personal preferences, I guess. Maybe it's a personal preference. You know, you want to be merciful to these people. You want to try to see the best in people. You want to offer them rejection. You want to show them a little bit of mercy, but sometimes there's no middle ground. There's no reasoning. There is no debate or logic or anything. I don't really want to compromise with someone who draws that kind of stuff. I don't want to find middle ground with someone like that. But, Tataruzu says, also, if Sophie Campbell wants to draw that, then she and her followers can't paint others like Ed as predators. That's really why I made the video. Yeah, that's a very astute comparison there. They compared Ed Piskor to a predator because he sent some mildly flirty messages to an underage person. Of age person, I think in the state the age is 16 or 17 or whatever, or maybe he was underage. I don't know the details. But yeah, it's weird. One group is allowed to talk to and interact with underage and depict underage, and one is not allowed to. It's a whole, you know, it's a lot of strange stuff and a lot of sensitive taboo topics. But, Nordic Frost didn't name change till 2015. So Thomas Circle says there's more than one way to degrade TMNT. Yes, there is. Ah, well, how about that? How about that for a show? What a heavy ending. What a heavy ending to the show. But you got to talk about this stuff. It's important to talk about this stuff. Even if it is just vile, it's gross, but who knows? Well, that is the show for today. I've got my cup out, my tea. My tea has gone cold. I've got my pizza out. I'm about to wolf down my cold pizza. it's important to talk about this stuff. It's like Mr. Turtle wasn't even aware of it, so it's something that should be talked about. And it's something I've just been ignoring, you know, but at the same time, ignoring this stuff, it's not going away. It needs to be talked about, and I should be talking about it more. So, great videos from Tatoruzu. If you haven't already seen them, great videos. And I still would like to speak with Sophie. I'm gonna maybe send a message or something sometime soon, and we'll see how that goes. And it's gonna go one way or the other. So we will find out and be able to move from there. Yeah, it's a lot of strange behavior. Well, thank you all for joining me. I think that's the end of the show. It's a heavy show. I think I need a little hit of my pizza steam here, my vape. I gotta step outside for a second, hit a cool vape of this pizza steam with the crew. Ah, pizza steam. Cool, refreshing pizza steam. Ah, well, thank you all for joining me. Whoops, wrong screen. I got excited there. I almost skipped the whole ending. I got excited. Almost skipped my ending scene here. Pizza flavored steam. It's just steam. It's pizza flavored steam. I need a whole new cool look. Nordic Frost has this cool look. He's got long hair, he's got a cool vape, he's got this whole like groovy, kind of psychedelic kaleidoscope look going. It's like a very rock and roll record look. I need to get a makeover. I need my where's my emo look? This is my new rock and roll look I'm gonna go with. My new rock and roll attitude. Well, thank you all for joining me. I appreciate it. Have a happy Turtle Tuesday, and I will see you guys sometime soon. Gonna have another video coming out, maybe this Saturday. Maybe a stream with Tatoruzu this Saturday. We will see, but I will let you know, and I appreciate you all joining me here. Happy Turtle Tuesday. Hope you had a great time, and I hope you have an outstanding week. There's just one thing left to say. Cowabunga! Thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment and share this video. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more Ninja Turtles videos like this.